What made you realize that you had developed an eating disorder, and how did you decide to get help? I realized I had an eating disorder relatively early on. I was probably 9 years old the first time I started trying to test my limits, not eating or throwing away my lunches at school or whatever I could do just basically to have some control of my food. I realized that that was a problem, but I kind of kept it under wraps. It wasn't something I talked about openly. When I reached high school, I sort of did have this whole mantra where I would tell people, oh, I don't like to eat in the morning because it kind of makes me sick. I used to have an eating disorder when I was younger, but lo and behold, I actually still had one. I didn't actually decide to get treatment on my own. I got treatment on my own basically by force. I was so sick. I was working 2 jobs, basically working myself to the bone, not eating anything, working out 4 hours a day. I got to the point where I even believed that sleeping was not a wise act because I wasn't burning as many calories for some reason. And I basically ended up extremely underweight and started losing organ function. So I went on a family vacation and I was very weak, and everybody knew that something was up, but nobody really knew what was going on. And I ate something, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't resist the urge to purge anymore. And so I went into the bathroom and I started purging, but something was wrong in my body, and I couldn't stop. To the point where I actually went into shock and ended up in the hospital with potassium imbalance. And that was, I think, the point where my family then said, okay, there's something wrong. I don't think this was food poisoning, as you're saying it is. Let's do something about it. I went along with it, but it wasn't until I was in treatment for a while that I actually decided to do it for myself.